It began not with a scream or a slammed door, but with a text message that appeared on my father's phone while he was in the shower. I was 19 years old, home from college for the summer, and I had borrowed his laptop to print my internship application. His phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Normally, I wouldn't have looked, but the notification preview said, "I miss the way you taste. Don't tell me you've forgotten." The name saved in his contacts was Monica, my stepmother. Only it wasn't directed at my father. I knew because my father's name is David, and the message was addressed to someone else entirely. "I know you're still married to her in name only, Leo. When are you going to stop pretending?" I stood there holding a cold cup of coffee, the summer heat pressing against the kitchen windows, and felt the floor tilt beneath me. My father had married Monica 18 months after my mother died of ovarian cancer. At the time, I had been grateful. He was lonely. I was leaving for college. Monica seemed kind, soft-spoken, a widow herself with no children of her own. She cooked lasagna on Sundays and asked me polite questions about my classes. But there was always something I couldn't name, a slight delay in her smiles, a way she looked at her phone too quickly when my father entered the room. I told myself I was being protective. I told myself I didn't want anyone replacing my mother. But standing there in the quiet kitchen, watching my father's phone buzz again with a message that read, "He doesn't have to know. He never pays attention anyway," I understood that I hadn't been paranoid. I had been blind. The next 3 weeks unfolded like a slow puncture in a tire, imperceptible at first, then impossible to ignore. I didn't confront anyone immediately. Instead, I watched. I learned that Monica left the house every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon for yoga class, but she never took a yoga mat. She wore perfume on those afternoons, the kind she saved for date nights with my father. She would kiss him on the cheek, say, "Don't wait up," and drive away in her silver Honda. The first time I followed her, I felt like a character in a movie I never wanted to be in. She drove 20 minutes to a town called Millbrook, pulled into the parking lot of a low-slung brick motel called The Pines, and walked inside without looking back. I sat in my car across the street, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. 45 minutes later, a man I didn't recognize walked in after her. Tall, silver-haired, wearing a blue polo shirt and boat shoes. He didn't check in at the front desk. He went straight to room 14 and knocked twice, pause, then 3 times fast. A signal. Monica opened the door, and she was already wearing nothing but a thin robe. She smiled at him the way I'd never seen her smile at my father. Not polite, not soft, hungry. I didn't tell my dad right away. That's the part people don't understand about discovering infidelity. You carry the knowledge like a hot stone in your palm, and every second you hold it, the burn spreads. You start to question everything. Every "I love you" over dinner. Every time she laughed at his jokes. Every anniversary photo posted on Facebook. Was any of it real? Or was my father simply the safe harbor, the man with the steady job, the paid-off mortgage, the grief that made him easy to manipulate? I started keeping a journal. Not because I wanted to, but because I felt like I was going insane. I wrote down dates, times, license plate numbers. I recorded audio on my phone when Monica took calls in the garden, pretending to talk to her sister. "Leo, not now. He's been suspicious lately." "No, the kid is home for the summer, that's the problem. He watches everything." I heard her say that last part through an open window while she watered my mother's roses. She was using my mother's watering can. Something inside me cracked, but I didn't make a sound. The gaslighting began subtly, then became a symphony. One evening at dinner, I casually mentioned that I had driven through Millbrook earlier that week. Monica's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. "Millbrook?" she said, her voice light and curious. What's in Millbrook? I said I didn't know, just taking the scenic route. She laughed, a bright, easy laugh, and said, "You always were your father's son." Wandering around with no destination. Then she turned to my dad and changed the subject to a neighbor's dog. Later that night, she knocked on my bedroom door. "I feel like you've been distant," she said, leaning against the doorframe in her pajamas. "Did I do something wrong?" She looked so sincere that for half a second, I doubted everything I had seen. That's what manipulators do. They make you question your own eyes. I told her I was fine, just stressed about school. She smiled, squeezed my shoulder, and said, "You know I love you like my own, right?" I nodded. She left. I opened my journal and wrote, *room 14, The Pines Motel. Tuesday, 2:15 p.m., Leo's car, blue Ford Taurus. License plate 6XY842, *. The breaking point came on a Thursday night in late July. My father had worked a double shift. He's a nurse at the county hospital, and came home exhausted around 11 p.m. Monica was already in bed, or so she claimed. I was in the living room pretending to watch a movie. My father kissed my forehead, said, "Don't stay up too late," and went upstairs. 15 minutes later, I heard the front door open and close softly. I looked out the window. Monica was walking to her car in a dark hoodie, carrying a small overnight bag. She didn't turn on the headlights until she was already on the main road. I followed her again. Same motel, same room 14, same silver-haired man waiting by the vending machine pretending to buy peanuts. This time, I didn't just watch. I walked to the motel office, paid $60 in cash for the room next door, and listened through the wall. I heard laughter. I heard low whispers. I heard things that made me press my palms against my ears. And then I heard Monica say, clear as a bell through the thin drywall, "David thinks I'm at yoga. He believes anything. That's the problem with broken men. They're so grateful to be loved, they'll swallow any lie." Leo laughed. "And the kid?" Monica sighed. "The kid is nosy, but he has no proof. And without proof, he's just a jealous son who never wanted me in the picture." She paused. "I'll handle him." I went home that night and didn't sleep. At 6 a.m., I sat my father down at the kitchen table. I showed him everything, the journal, the photos of Leo's car, the audio recording of the phone call in the garden, the motel receipt with room 14 circled. I played the recording of her voice saying, "He believes anything." My father listened with his head bowed, his hands flat on the table. When the recording ended, he didn't speak for a long time. Then he looked up and his eyes were the emptiest I have ever seen. "I thought you loved me," he said. Not angry, just hollow. She said she wanted to grow old with me. I reached across the table and held his hand. He didn't cry. He just sat there, staring at the wall where a photo of him and Monica on their wedding day hung slightly crooked. "I'll call a lawyer today," he finally said. And he did. The divorce was not quick. Monica denied everything. She called me a liar, a manipulator, a motherless boy who couldn't stand to see his father happy. She told my father's sisters that I had fabricated the recordings using AI. She told our neighbors that I was unstable, that I had been jealous of her since the day she moved in. For 2 months, she waged a campaign of quiet destruction. But she made one mistake. She underestimated the evidence. My father's lawyer subpoenaed the motel's security footage. Room 14's camera showed Monica and Leo entering and leaving together on 14 separate occasions over 3 months. Leo, it turned out, was her ex-husband, a man she had never actually divorced. Their marriage had been separated but legal for 6 years. She had married my father bigamously. When that came out, everything collapsed. Monica signed the annulment papers in a lawyer's office without looking my father in the eye. Leo never showed up to court. He had already moved to Florida with a different woman. The aftermath took years to heal. My father sold the house, too many memories, he said, and moved into a small apartment with a balcony that faced east. He started therapy. He stopped blaming himself for not seeing the lies. Grief makes you vulnerable, his therapist told him. You weren't stupid. You were human. I went back to college that fall and threw myself into my studies. I didn't date for a long time. Trust had become a foreign language. But slowly, in increments too small to measure, we both rebuilt. My father started gardening on his balcony. Tomatoes, basil, mint. He sent me photos of his first ripe tomato with the caption, "Proof that something good can grow after loss." I kept that photo on my phone for a long time. What I learned from that chapter of my life is this: infidelity is rarely just about sex. It's about the slow erosion of reality. It's about someone looking you in the eye and lying so smoothly that you doubt the evidence of your own senses. And sometimes the people who say they love you the most are the ones who have become experts at pretending. But here's what I also learned. Truth has a weight. You can bury it, ignore it, rationalize it away, but it will always surface. And when it does, it doesn't destroy you. It frees you. My father is remarried now to a woman named Helen who laughs with her whole body and calls me every Sunday just to say hello. He's happy, real happy, not the fragile, grateful happiness of a man afraid to be alone. The solid kind, the kind that doesn't need to lie. And me, I finished school. I became a writer, ironically. I write about the things people hide, not for revenge. For the same reason I kept that journal, because someone needs to bear witness. Because not every story of betrayal ends in tragedy. Some end with a man on a balcony, watering his tomatoes in the morning light, finally at peace with the fact that he deserved better all along.